Okay, so once again, good afternoon class. No, for today, ayan, naglo-loading siya. So we are going to discuss different sources of information. By the way, class, do you have any idea when we say the word source? What do you mean when we say the word source? Hindi source ha, source. When we say the word source, what is a source? Okay, yes, Kian Miguel.
Information.
Okay, it is an information. Good job. Okay, yan. Okay, when we say the word source, no, aside from information, siya yung alin? Pinagmulan in Tagalog. Okay, it is what? Okay, it is a point of origin. Meaning saan nagmula. That is what we call as source. And also one that supplies information. When we say the word one that supplies information, one that gives information, point of origin, that is what we call as source. Okay, for today class, we're going to study some different sources of information. Let us find out what are those sources of information, Teacher Jai. Ayan. So before we start, I would like to ask grade 6, what sources do you use in gathering information for your assignment and other school activities? For example, if you want to find some meaning, what sources do you use? Okay, yes. Are you here? Okay, River Look. What sources do you use na? For example, you want to search for the meaning of something, nagpa-assignment sa teacher. Ano ang ginagamit mo? What kind of source?
Computer po.
Okay, computer, of course. Or in what particular the computer? For example, sa computer, open mo na. So what will you do?
Magsa-search po ako sa Google.
Okay, in English? You will what? You will?
Search in Google.
Okay, you will search the meaning, okay, of your assignment in Google. Okay, very good. Ayan. So, of course, some of you are searching their assignment or getting information from Google. Aside from it, yes, Kian Isaiah.
Get information from books.
Okay, very good. Get information from books. So for example, encyclopedia, some textbooks, mga anak, no? Reference books, hindi lang puro mga anime, grade 6. Ayan, yung mga anime, yung mga Wattpad, no? Of course, most importantly, yung mga educational books. Okay, aside from it, do you still have any idea? Ayan, based on the pictures, letter A, B, C, and letter D. O sa letter A, what do you think is this? This is what? The man is getting a source of information from what? Okay, yes, Reese? Okay, where do you think the first man or sa letter A, lalaki, saan niya kinukuha ang information?
Newspaper.
Okay, from the newspaper. Very good. How about in letter B? Yes, Agustus. In letter B na. Okay, ayan na nga. Pagalawin ang baso, anak. Are you still there? Okay, Trixie, where do you think is the man? Yes. Okay, news. Of course, TV or television news. Very good. How about letter C? Yes, okay, Rackmill. Book. Okay, books sa library. Yan, book, library. Okay, books or library. Okay, next and the last one, letter D. Yes, Daniel, where do you think?
Getting information from Internet.
Okay, internet. Very good. Google. Okay, Google or Yahoo if you're still Yahoo, no? And then Microsoft, etc. Okay, so there are many sources, class, for us to gather information because of course we need to answer our assignments and other school activities. There are many sources of information. Now let's find out. So when we say again the word source, please read. Ethan, are you there, Nax? Ethan? Wala pa, no? Okay, sige. Okay, how about you? Okay, Eliza.
It is anything that informs and provides knowledge.
Okay, so when we say again the word source, ito daw yung alin, anything that informs and provides knowledge to a person. Okay, point of origin, that is what we call as source. Okay, anything that informs and provides knowledge to a person. Next. Okay, so grade 6, there are many sources of information. The first one is what we call as print materials, from the word print. Yan, pinapaprint, printed materials. Okay? Next one is what we call as broadcast materials. When we say the word broadcast, anything that can be seen on TV, any sources of information that can be seen via television use. Okay? So the next one is what we call as, ayan, okay, online materials. So online materials from its word, grade 6, online, meaning it can be seen in the internet. Okay, that is what we call as online materials. Next. Okay, so the first one that we're going to study or discuss is all about print materials. Are you still with me, class? Parang si Teacher Jai na lang ang nag-iisa. Ha? Gusto niyo bang iwan pati si Teacher Jai, ha, na? Pati ba kayo iiwan si Teacher Jai? You're still with me, grade 6?
Yes po.
Yes, boy, of course. Ayan, at least may kasama na si Teacher Jai. Very good. Okay, so when we say the word print materials, what is print materials? Ethan, are you there na, anak? Please read. What is the meaning of print materials?
Print materials consist of written or print materials. Example of these resources are printed version of textbooks, workbooks, reference books, magazine, newspaper, and journals.
Okay, very good. So when we say the word print materials consists of all written or printed materials from the word print, printed materials. So there are many examples of these resources or printed versions of textbooks, workbooks, reference books, magazines, newspaper, and journals. Anything that is what? Written or printed, grade 6. Print materials. Yan, for example, yung mga books, math book, English book, worksheets, reference books, magazines, newspaper, no? That is an example of print materials. Okay, yung mga Wattpad books. Ayan, yung pinapaprint. Online materials siya once na alin, kapag online lang, Wattpad. Pag, for example, Wattpad books, okay, that is under example na ng print materials. So by the way, class, are you still, nagbabasa pa rin ba kayo sa mga books, ha? Grade 6?
Yes po.
Okay, very good. Okay, so, ayan. Very good naman, class. Okay, next. Okay, these are the examples in pictures of the printed materials, grade 6. Okay, the next one is what we call as broadcast materials. Okay, so when we say the word broadcast, okay, please read this. Okay, yes, Riverlook?
Broadcast materials are resources of transmitted to public through radio and
Radio.
television.
Okay,
Pub-
very good. Sige.
Public service announcement, daily news, weather forecast, interviews, documentaries, comedies, movies, sports, and advertisements or commercials.
Okay, advertisements or commercials. Okay, so from the word broadcast, anything that can be seen publicly through radio or television broadcast. Yan. Pag print materials, printed, textbooks, worksheets. Worksheets, ayan. Okay, yung mga reference books, ayun yung alin, print materials. Kapag broadcast, publicly through radio, television, etc. Ayan. So, broadcast materials. For example, public service announcements. Ayan. Di ba si Kuya Kim ngayon sa 24 oras? Okay, that is can be under example ng broadcast materials. What is the name of this segment na? Ha? What is the name of segment of Miss Kuya Kim? Are you familiar? Grade 6? Naku, parang walang Oh, nakiisa si Teacher Jai. Are you not familiar? O sige, assignment yan na later, God willing. Okay? So, broadcast materials. Okay, or resources transmitted. Yes, Kian Miguel. Yan na.
Weather forecast.
Okay, weather forecast. Okay, yan. So, of course, ayun na si Kuya Kim. So, that is an example of broadcast materials. Okay, interviews, documentaries, ayan, comedies, movies, sports, and advertisements or commercial. That is under broadcast materials. Just like before, di ba? Nung nagbalita kayo, grade 6. Di ba yung pinaproject ko sa inyo? That is under also an example of broadcast materials. Next. The next one is what we called as, yan. So these are the examples. Ito, advertisement, reinvent your world, and Globe ata to, or iPhone, I'm not familiar, no? And then best documentaries here sa Netflix. That is under broadcast materials. Okay, the next one and the last one is what we call as online materials. When we say the word online materials, okay, please read this. Yes, Kian Miguel.
Online materials or learning resources are made available online. Examples: blogs, vlogs, podcasts, audiobooks, ebooks, videos, mobile apps, web page, social media, and emails, electronic mails.
Okay, so online materials, they are learning resources that are made available online, can be seen via internet. So examples, blogs. Ayan, nakikita niyo Iba na Alawi, di ba? Hello mga day, yung mga ganon, yung mga kay Mimiyo, di ba? So hello mga ganyan-ganyan. So examples of online materials, sources. Okay, next is podcast, audiobooks, ebooks, videos, mobile apps, web pages, social media, of course. Different social medias like Facebook, Twitter, and emails or electronic mails. That is under online materials. Okay? So always remember, grade 6, that in accessing online materials, take note to be careful and vigilant. Meaning, hindi dapat post ng post sa Facebook or kaya sasabihin nyo, ang binaboto ko si BBM. Ganyan, di ba? For example, example. Okay, for example, mas gusto nyo si BBM, di ba? And then you will say against you sa mga ibang mga presidential na mga candidates. Okay, wag dapat. Okay, you should be careful and vigilant with the authorship, credibility, authenticity of internet documents since some sources may contain unverified information. Okay, meaning, last, no, aside from it, be careful also sa pag-share. Diba? Minsan kasi tayo, class, basta makita lang natin nakakatuwa, or kaya tingin natin is legit, diba? The word legit, share lang tayo ng share. So, dapat, that is wrong. Okay, hindi tayo dapat share lang ng share. dapat we should be careful and vigilant. Meaning, kailangan nating mag-ingat. Okay, aside from it, example, kasama ka sa honor, kasama ka sa top, pinakita mo yung grades mo, shinare mo sa my day mo na ko, my day pa ganyan-ganyan ka, Ben, pinakita mo yung ano. Ano naman di ba class, no? May mga times na, of course, yung mga masasamang loob talagang inaano yung mga ganyang klaseng mga personal na bagay, no? May mga ganong class. Kaya 'di ba sabi nga sa DepEd, hangga't maaari, wag ipo-post yung mga alin, okay, yung mga signature, basta may mga kasamang signature kasi pwede siyang ipeke ng mga masasamang loob. Gamitin pa sa mga masasamang bagay, okay? Ayan. So, since of course, yung internet siya, pwede kasi siyang madaya. Pwede siyang maiba ng info. So, please be careful and vigilant. Hindi yung porket akala mo kinasal na si ganito ganyan, magiging marites ka na rin, ha? Grade 6, makikisama ka na rin. Or kaya, may mga idol ka ng mga artista, tapos i-share mo, ganyan, mga iba't ibang mga info na nakakasira sa iba, no? So, wag ganun, class. Okay? Wag ganun. Be careful. Next. Okay, so with the use of various sources of information, Reese, please read.
With the use of various sources of information, you may now compare and contrast the information viewed from print, broadcast, and online platforms. The skills on comparing and contrasting are necessary in enriching your knowledge in finding reliable and credible sources of information.
Okay, good job. So with the use of various sources of information, you may now compare and contrast the information viewed from print, broadcast, and online platforms. Ayan. So, of course, since may mga, for example, nakita mo na mo sa TV na, for example, you watch that Manny Pacquiao will run as president sa TV. And then, na-verify mo naman sa internet, according naman kay Manny Pacquiao pa rin na hindi naman talaga. So, again, no, you may compare or contrast. Pwede mo pagkumpara yung bawat information na sa tingin mo ay alin. Okay, na sa tingin mo ay nakakatulong, class. Okay, that will help you, of course. So the skills of comparing and contrasting are necessary in enriching your knowledge in finding reliable and credible sources of information. Because if you will compare, class, compare mga informations, sabi nito ganyan, sa isang site, nakita mo, si ganito daw, ano daw siya, guba nagsabi ng negative. But then, yung pala, or din naman sa isang site or sa TV na napanood mo, hindi naman pala ganun yung pagkakasabi niya, di ba? So at least you be able to compare each. Okay? At the same time, mas magkakaroon ka, you will be able to obtain the most reliable source of information. Okay, next. Okay, so once again, thank you for listening and participating. And please don't forget to like, just kidding. Ayan, of course, joke lang.